Good Monday morning, my peeps. This is Adrienne Talks, and I want to talk about excuses today. Yeah, I do. I know you probably just want to say, oh, I got to go, but I really think you should stick around because my accountability buddy and I were talking about excuses and how we all have them, right? People on our team, ourselves, our kids, our husband, everybody. And you never know when they're going to pop up. You never know when they're going to show up. And how do you know what is one good indicator, let's say, that there's an excuse? And I say it's the big but, right? That's right. When you put the big but in and that rears its ugly head, you kind of know you're in excuse mode. Like, I could hit my monthly goal, but I would love to have a team, but I wish I could hit my goal, but so many times we stop ourselves because of the big but. And what comes after the but in our mind feels very real, right? It really does. I promise you a couple reasons that you are putting the but in your sentence. We are going to talk about it. And then we're going to come up with ways that you can start removing the big but from your sentences. Because you guys, this is life. It's tough. And it's so easy to think of all the reasons why we can't do something, the big buts. There's tons of them. And I'm going to tell you, we can also shift that. So, one of the main reasons the big but shows up, right, is fear. And this is super real, people. We all have it. We are ingrained with fear. I just watched Inside Out 2 last night. So, I have to tell you, it is so funny because so much of what we talk about, it made me laugh because that's exactly what it is, right? Fear shows up, and then all of a sudden, all the other things are like, oh God, listen to this anxiety, fear, all of those. So we've all been there, right? When we're doubting ourselves and our confidence is lacking. And a lot of times it sounds like maybe like this, like I would grow my team, but I don't know a lot of people. And guess what? You're the only person that can change that. You are the only person that can change that. You could join a networking group. You could start a community on social media. You could get out more and meet people. You could sit down and do what they always say, make the list of all the people you know, because I promise you that list is longer than you think. But a lot of people use this excuse because it's easy. I don't know a lot of people, so I can fail and it'll be fine because I have the big butt. I have the big butt. I don't know people. So it makes it easy. It makes it easy to move on from, and um something that we don't have to think about, right? We just already know our excuse, so we're done. um or maybe it would sound like me in the beginning. I said I could grow a team, but I don't know how to lead. Guess what, you guys? I'm still the same person I was in the beginning. All I did was change that thought. All I did was change that I don't know how to lead. I realize I can just be me. Is it scary sometimes? Yeah. Do I doubt myself sometimes? Yes, absolutely. But I did it anyway. I just changed my thoughts. I knew some people out there could use my tips and my experiences and apply it to their business and grow. And from there forward, I just chose to share what I'm doing with people. And they, guess what, guys? They get to decide if they listen or not. You don't get to decide that for them. As a leader, you can't change if they decide not to listen to you. So I just realized it's not on me. All I can do is try to help. And if they find their own way that is super helpful to them, hey, I might be able to learn from them too, right? Because being a leader doesn't mean you know everything. Being a leader just means that you're going to share what's working for you. So as soon as I shifted that, instead of thinking like, oh my gosh, these people need, I have to do everything for them, and realize it's their business. They get to do everything for themselves. I just get to help them along the way, cheer them on, be their cheerleader, right? As soon as I changed that thought, it didn't feel so scary. And I'm still that same person. I still do the same things. I still act the same way. I still love the same things I loved about my job then. I still am great with my client care. And that doesn't mean you have to be, right? There's people who are great at events or great at whatever they're doing. I just get to share with others what's working for me. And then they get to decide what they want to do with it. And so along with this, along with your fear, I'll say, sometimes a little unsure shows up, right? You're unsure of yourself. And that's yet another big one, right? You have fear, and then sometimes you're in your comfort zone, right? And it feels great. And this is pretty close to fear, but you're so unsure of what doing something new is going to be like, right? Like in my example above, I could ask people to join my team and see what leading was all about, but I didn't do it for years because I was so unsure of what it entailed, right? Some of it was fear and some of it was just, I didn't know. I never asked. I never said, what all does it take? What do I have to do? I just assumed in my head that I was not a leader. And so I just didn't do it. I I didn't know. I could have just decided to ask and see what happens. But this doubt in myself and this fear, this worry stopped me from doing that in my early years of direct sales. And so the other thing I think that is so important is that I didn't know my why, right? So I had fear, I was unsure of myself, and I didn't know my why, my true why. So many people make excuses because they aren't even sure why they're doing it. I hear it all the time when people start, well, I don't know, just to make some extra money. I don't know, maybe just, I don't know, just something different, whatever. Right. But what is your real reason for having a goal, for doing this thing, for saying yes, for wanting to get involved? What is it? Because again, my example above, I didn't know why I wanted a team, right? People just told me I needed it. So it was easy to make excuses and do nothing because I didn't really know why. And people just said, that's what you do. And one of my favorite quotes by Tony Robbins is, people are not lazy. They simply have goals that don't inspire them. Because if you don't know why you're doing it, then when you're sitting there not doing anything, what makes you go, oh, but I should do that and make this better, do the thing, make the business happen. So once I realized the whole reason I started direct sales was to have flexibility and stay home with my kids, right? Along the way, I met amazing people. I grew, I took great trips with my husband, all of those things. But that core thing that I started with was flexibility to stay home with my kids. And then all these other things, I realized, wow, this is incredible. This job is amazing. And I didn't want anyone else to miss out on the opportunity. That's when everything completely changed for me, was that I realized that if I kept it to myself, I was being selfish, right? Instead of sitting here worrying about, oh my gosh, what do I have to do? Will people even want to do this? All these things. I realized I had this amazing thing to share. And in the beginning, I had something amazing to share too. Nothing changed, but I thought a lot of big buts, but who knows if anybody would want it. But people think I might be pushy, but I doubt anyone would say yes. Fear, doubt, and I didn't know why. Now I still have fear and doubt. I just move with it, right? I move on with it because I realize if I don't share this amazing thing, no one else can experience the things I experienced in their own way, not the way I did, of course, but they can't be part of this amazing group of people who are trying, who support you, cheer you on, share their goals, their vision, their things that are working, right? This amazing thing that gave me flexibility, gave me the ability to raise my kids and improved my life. It would be a tragedy if I didn't share that with other people. See, I'm still the same person. I still love the same things. I just shifted those thoughts. So you're probably wondering, like, how do I stop making these excuses, right? How do I shift these thoughts? Well, the biggest thing, you guys, and this is the hardest one, and people hate it when I say it. So just get ready, brace yourself. You're the only person that can change it. You are the only one. You can make excuses all day long, and you are the only one that can stop making the excuses. So at any time we want something, but if this happens, then I can do it, right? If I'm less busy, I could just do it. If I had this, I could just do this, right? Guys, I hate to tell you, that is the hardest part, is realizing these are all your excuses, right? When I'm less busy, you guys, I hate to tell you, I hate that word. You're never going to be less busy. If you like being busy, you're always going to be busy. So it's all about prioritizing. I have to run my daughter all over the place. She's got a job. She has cheer. She has school, all these things, right? I have a lot going on. I have my stuff. I have my work, my things that I want to do, right? But I schedule it. If someone or something is important to me, I put it in my calendar, right? Because I'm the only one that can change it. If I really want to see my friend, if I really want to work hard, if I really want to hit my goal, I am the only person that can make it happen. I remember, and I've used this before, so you probably heard it, but I don't remember if you guys remember, but I remember that we had a pipe burst in our basement. And when this happened, there was water everywhere. Guess what? I had tons going on that day. I had 2 little kids. I had my job. I had some people I had to make. I had so many things I had to do that day. But guess what? I made time for it. I made time for it. So sometimes you just have to decide, how bad do you really want to change it? And this is why that why is so important, right? How bad do you really want to change it? Because if you want to change it, you have to make time to make it happen. You have to prioritize it. Just like you prioritize getting your kids to their events, or taking care of the water that's in your basement. You have to prioritize the things you really want in life. And that's for anything. That's for any relationship, anything you've got going on. When you prioritize it, when you make it happen, that will grow, and that's what you're going to see more of. Okay. So the other thing, besides taking responsibility for that, is you got to change your thoughts, right? When you take that responsibility, you realize you have the power to change how you view the circumstance. Only you have that. And that's the hardest part, again, of anything in life, raising kids, being a leader, all of it. When you see someone who has a bad attitude about something, you could tell them till your face is blue how great it is, or how many amazing things they have, or what they could do, or what you see, or how you see it, and all this great stuff. But guess what? If they don't want to shift their perspective, they are not going to. They will not. If they believe they are way too busy to do anything, they don't want to change that thought. They will not change that thought. So you have to begin to see that, like, as a person, if you want to shift everything, you have to begin to see that problems are opportunities. They are not obstacles. So any problem you have, you can change the way you look at it. You can change the way you view it. Everything is neutral. It's just what we say about it that adds value, that adds that feeling. So, will the thing that you change work the first time? I'm going to tell you what, it probably won't. It's probably not going to work the first time. But then you can decide, okay, it didn't work, so I'm done, right? But I'm done because I tried it and it didn't work. Or you can say, that didn't work. Now what am I going to try? Now what can I do? See how you can look at things 2 ways, like it didn't work, so I'm done, or it didn't work, so now what am I going to do? And this is the key to everything. Knowing you learned something and then trying something different if it didn't work. And you know what? Eventually you're going to find something that works. You are. I promise you, you'll find something, and you can use other people to help you, right? What worked for them. You can use them, but it's got to work for you. It's got to be something that you enjoy. So my final thing is, after you start shifting your perspective, you've got to have a goal that you set and a buddy with you. And the reason, obviously, you need goals is to make it very clear of what I said above, your why, your driver, right? So when you really don't want to do something, when you have that time set aside to call the clients or have the event or do the work thing, because you are so clear on why, you're going to get up and do it. Because that is the key, is so many people don't get up and do it. Now, be aware your brain is going to be like, well, yeah, I wanted that goal, but the big but, this thing got in the way. So it's probably not going to happen. Right? How many times have you had something you really wanted to do and then you let those thoughts come in? Guess what? You could also say, okay, this thing got in the way. So now I've got to focus and work twice as hard to accomplish it. Or I've got to do this and this today instead of just this, because I didn't do that yesterday. So this is why I really think when you set that goal, you need a buddy. and not a best friend, you guys, not somebody who's going to let you off the hook, right? You need a mentor, a person who promises to call you out, a person that hears you say but and challenges you on that but. I remember one time my girl, my accountability partner, Laura Morris, she told me, I know you really want to hit team mentor. And I said, yeah, I'm working on it. I'm going to have it by June. And she's like, okay, so why don't you get it in May and just, have it instead of waiting until June? And I was like, well, but I mean, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I still have June and I have so much going on. I'm traveling with a friend, but, right. Like all my butts were showing up. And finally she was like, well, you could do it in May. So June, you can just help others hit their goals. Right. She took me back to my why that I realized like I wanted to help other people have the same amazing experiences that I did in direct sales in their own way, to love it for them. And so, bam, all of a sudden my mind shifted. And guess what? I worked really hard. And on that trip with my friend Emily, I hit team mentor. And guess what? We celebrated and had the best trip. I could have let that be an excuse. I could have stuck with those excuses. But Laura believed in me more than I believed in myself. And she challenged me. And I had all the butts in the world. All the big butts were everywhere. But she challenged me to think a little bit differently. So I want to make sure that when you are finding your person and when you're talking to yourself, you guys hear the but and realize you can change it. So I'm challenging you this week to stop the buts and just do it. So this week, I would love for you to come to the Facebook page with your big butt and let us help you realize you can change that thought and still do it anyway. So until next week, you guys, when Yo Adrienne talks, realize the power is within you.